ever texted while driving before? Keep them up if you know that it's dangerous. Pretty much everyone. From a young age, you're taught that texting and driving is dangerous, but why do we still do it? I have done extensive research and hope to inform you of some of the things I have learned. Texting and driving has become an increasing problem in today's society that needs to be stopped. I will be focusing on two things today: the risks behind it and the underlying reasons behind why we may text and drive. First, let's talk about the risks. When you get in a car behind the wheel and driving, you're responsible for your life and everyone's life around you. When you text and drive, you're putting everyone's lives around you in an extremely dangerous situation and potentially life-threatening. According to the United States Department of Transportation, last year there was about 1.6 million crashes due to cell phone use while driving. That equates to about 500,000 injuries and 6,000 deaths. Not only are these numbers astonishing, but they're also extremely sad because each and every one of them could have been prevented if someone wouldn't have used their phone while driving. Secondly, nearly half of all new drivers have seen their parents text and drive before. You are much more likely to text and drive if you have seen someone you love and trust do it before. Actions speak louder than words, and that's especially true while driving. If you are on the road and you are texting and driving, you are a huge influence for others around you, especially your friends. If you're the person doing the texting and driving, or you're seeing someone else doing it, it seems like the normal thing to do and doesn't seem as bad. Now that we know why it may be dangerous, let's talk about the underlying reasons behind why we may do it. First, phones are addicting. There's now more screen time than there is face time in almost everyone's life. Mary Bowerman from US Today states in an article from 2015 that younger people have been weaned on technology. They don't know the existence of life without it, and we see technology as an extension of ourselves, which is essentially true. People now thrive off their phones and have become so dependent on them. When you hear your phone go off, what's your automatic response? Mine's to look at it. You feel like you need to know what's going on, and even if that means looking at your phone while texting and driving. You also might be surprised to find that there's a real psychological reason why we may text and drive. That reason is when you hear your phone go off, you get a hit of dopamine from your brain, and that makes you want to look at your phone. After an initial spike in dopamine, you feed off wanting more and more of it, so you feel like you have to look at it. David Greenfield from a CNN article from this year, earlier in August, says that when our brains are in an elevated dopamine state caused by our phones, our brain reward center shuts down access to our prefrontal cortex, which is where your reasoning occurs. So, when you hear your phone, your judgment goes down, causing you to reach for your phone. So now that we've addressed underlying reasons, let's wrap up. Texting and driving has become an increasing problem in today's society that needs to be stopped. After evaluating the risk behind it and knowing the underlying reasons, I hope you can start to change your driving habits. The next time you get behind the wheel, remember that it can wait.